With Tony Khan talking about Mercedes Moné and AEW and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. When it comes to who is responsible for the four-pillar storyline between MJF, Sammy Guevara, Jack Perry, and Darby Allin, Cassidy Haynes of BodySlam.net noted that while speaking with sources inside AEW regarding the upcoming Double or Nothing pay-per-view this weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada, one of the topics discussed was the Four Pillars match for the AEW World Championship. Sources relayed to me that the creative person responsible for writing the storyline for the entire Four Pillars World Championship program has been none other than the AEW World Champion MJF. Talking about MJF on Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray said this about his in-ring pace. I think MJF was moving at a lightning fast pace. I do not think he's been at that same pace lately. Not by any lack of effort from him, but I believe that he had to knock it down a gear so those other guys could keep up with him. I think that Jungle Boy has done a better job. I think that Sammy has had his moments, and for some reason, I'm not as into Darby because I'm hearing from Darby too much. Mentioning his Jungle Boy nickname, Jack Perry said this about his initial reaction to it, telling Paste, "When I first heard it, I thought it was ridiculous. I was like, this is so stupid. I can't believe that. Like, I thought it was just a terrible joke. But what I realized was during these matches that I was having, people were chanting. And that was the part that they kind of connected to, which I ended up sort of then crafting my character and some of my wrestling style and whatnot around the name. And what I ended up really liking about it was, to me, the Jungle Boy character was a character who didn't speak. He didn't say anything. He just wrestled, and that's really what I wanted to do. Jungle Boy kind of let me just stand out there in a pair of underwear and wrestle, and either liked it or you didn't. And yeah, it's pretty much what it was. And then it was crazy to get signed to a major company as Jungle Boy. And then I was with a guy called Luchasaurus. It's like, it's a whole kind of bizarre thing, but I think it worked, and I think people liked it. Speaking about what it means to be a pillar of AEW, he said, "At first, it really didn't mean a lot to me. I think the whole thing was kind of propaganda by MJF realistically. It was a way to position himself as the best of the four pillars, and I think that's why he came up with the phrase, but I do think he was onto something. And then I think when you look at the four of us, we're all super different in a lot of ways, but we're all young, hungry guys who really try and push what we're doing every time we're out there. And I think, you know, in the beginning, it wasn't even a thing, but I never thought I want to be a pillar of this company. I just wanted to go out there and have the very best matches that I could have every single time. And I think those three guys are very similar in that respect. And we do it in different ways, but I think that's a very kind of common goal that we've all had from the beginning. And I guess it's nice to see people recognize that, you know, just the group of us and what we're kind of trying to do and help push the company forward and grow with it and whatnot." Asked about the possibility of filming Fighting With My Family 2, Saraya said this about her brother and fellow professional wrestler. "I would love to see my brother get his moment. There were two stories, and there was Zach. I just got him his visa. Tony Khan was amazing. He took the time to talk to Zach and said, 'Do you have a visa?' 'No, I don't.' 'Well, I would put you in a dark match right now, but you need to have a visa. Consider it done.' He never had the opportunity in WWE. They never gave him a chance. He went through all these tryouts and they never gave him a shot. After the movie, I feel like they really missed out on a huge opportunity with him. That could have been the ultimate underdog story. Years and years spent trying to make it. Now, with AEW, Tony didn't even hesitate. He said, 'Yeah, I'll give you a dark match.' Sure. So I thought, I'll just get him his visa. I managed to secure his visa, and it should arrive in August, which is fantastic. I would love to see his story unfold where he finally achieves his dreams. His story is an even bigger underdog tale." Giving details on the future broadcast of All In, this was said about the media conference call prior to Double or Nothing. As Ringside News wrote, AEW President Tony Khan was asked about how fans at home will be able to watch All In London. It turns out that they aren't quite sure of that yet. When questioned about the broadcast capabilities for All In London and All Out, Khan mentioned that he couldn't provide a comprehensive answer at the moment, as they are still working on the event solution and how they will offer it. However, he expressed confidence that All In London is on track to become the biggest wrestling event of all time in England. This was also said about the potential announced team for AEW Collision, with Ringside News writing, PW Insider provided notes from Tony Khan's media conference before Double or Nothing. Tony Khan was asked about the future broadcast team for Collision. This is something that he has certainly thought about, but TK wasn't ready to make any announcement today. In regards to the new series announced team decision, Tony Khan mentioned that he has considered various options in the past, including individuals like Veda Scott, Kevin Kelly, and the current ROH broadcast team. Specifically addressing Veda Scott, he praised her as an excellent announcer. As AEW Collision will feature some stars separately from Dynamite, this was said about a roster split in the company by Ringside News. When questioned about the possibility of a brand split for AEW Collision, Dynamite, and other shows, Tony Khan acknowledged the audience's curiosity and their desire to generate intrigue about the future of the AEW roster following the upcoming pay-per-view. While he expressed interest in exploring this concept, he refrained from making any definite commitments at that moment. It was also reported that regarding any new television deals, Khan stated that the duration of the term remained unchanged. Additionally, Collision was an addition to their existing lineup, as Warner had approached AEW and offered them the opportunity to include it. Revealing her thought process on choosing to not re-sign with WWE, Taya Valkyrie told Chris Van Vliet, "I didn't really think about it too much. Obviously, I have some friends that have gone back. For example, Chelsea Green is an example, and she's thriving and she is killing it. I'm so proud of her. But I didn't really think about it too much. I just knew that if it was meant to be, it was meant to be, and I was kind of indifferent. I didn't know if I wanted to subject myself to being in a space like that again. I mean, it worked out. I couldn't be happier about it." Speaking about AEW's reception to her, she added that, "I was welcomed with open arms, and it was such good energy. Everyone was just surprised to see me. I think Britt knew. I'm trying to think who else knew. But yeah, it was just so positive. I mean, when you're starting a new job anywhere, it doesn't matter where it is, in a studio like this, or if it's in pro wrestling or a restaurant, you always have those kinds of nerves because you never know what's really going to happen. It's like walking into the first day of school, like catering. I'm like, which lunch table do I sit at? I'm still, trying to figure that out, but honestly, everyone was so welcoming and excited, and it just made me a much more calm person and just felt like I belonged there." Recalling an interaction he had with the Ultimate Warrior during his time as a WWE employee, Tom Buchanan told Cheap Heat, "One of two people that threatened to kill me, so I'm not a fan of the Ultimate Warrior." Jim told that to Warrior that night in the Orlando arena, so Warrior got really pissed and was storming through the arena looking for me, throwing chairs, tipping over tables, denting a wall. "I'm gonna kill that Buchanan. Where's that Buchanan? I'm gonna kill him." Ringside News added that the conflict started after WWE officials encouraged babyfaces to engage with fans before the shows. Tom Buchanan instructed Jim Myers, who is also known to fans as George Steele, to include in his agent report that Bret Hart took the time to interact with people. When Myers pointed out that everyone was interacting well with the fans, Buchanan noted that Warrior simply walked past everyone, keeping his head down. That didn't sit too well with the man from parts unknown. Touching on his friend that was fired from the WWE creative team, John Morrison said on the Undisputed podcast, "There's a buddy of mine, ended up getting hired as a writer, and he kept pointing out to me all the things that were wrong with the storytelling and how WWE was run. I told him for a couple months, everyone is aware. All the other writers know this, and Vince and the whole office, they know this. I promise you. If you say all these things, you're gonna last less than a month." Guess how long he lasted? 3 weeks. So he moved to Connecticut, and he's a smart guy and a good writer. He wrote movies and TV. It's just like what we're talking about. We see the problems, and then you have the choice. You can't just speak up because that doesn't solve or fix or change anything. They just fire you. Touching on her plans to get in the ring again, former WWE star Alicia Fox told Muscle Man Malcolm, "Where should we go do this Forbidden Door stuff? We have some stuff we haven't finished. Are you working? Wrestling? We're out of the box. We're out." I was like, well, I got some things to take care of. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go knock some ring dust off with Booker. When asked if she was done with wrestling, never said that. The Machine said that. Girl, this appearance has been eye-opening. I didn't put my face on that alumni section. I never said that. My bags are still packed. I'm pissed about it. So this is what I'm thinking. So I'm talking to Booker and Charmel, and then I'll go do that. Then we'll go knock on Trinity Fatu's house and then Sasha's house. Going back to the Double or Nothing media conference, this was said about a former WWE star and current New Japan star coming to AEW with Ringside News writing. During those notes, it was stated that Tony Khan was asked about bringing Mercedes Moné into AEW. TK then stated that only he and Mercedes know their plans. Regarding Mercedes Moné, Khan stated that only he and Mercedes know the details of her future plans, including whether she will appear exclusively for New Japan Pro Wrestling or also in AEW. He emphasized that no one else knows when she will be back except for Mercedes herself. When it comes to plans for Sting to retire in AEW, Ringside News wrote that during a recent media call for AEW Double or Nothing, Tony Khan addressed his plans for Sting. He expressed his intention to keep the iconic wrestler active for as long as Sting desires to continue wrestling. Khan emphasized that Sting brings tremendous value to the company in various aspects, and also commended him as a great person. Tony Khan further revealed that when the time comes for Sting's final match, they intend to make it a significant event due to its importance to the wrestling world. He emphasized that they would not exploit Sting's retirement for short-term gains, as he is a valuable asset to the company. For an update on the creative direction of Roman Reigns in WWE, the Wrestling Observer newsletter said, as far as long-term goes, Reigns versus Rhodes is the long-term direction for the ultimate destination match. WrestleMania is a strong possibility, but this far out there are so many things that can happen. As he's been out of action since last year due to needing back fusion surgery, this was said about the Apex Predator returning to WWE by Steve Carrier. Randy Orton has been out of action for far too long, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel for the Viper. We are told that Randy Orton has a return date in the future. It's not this summer, but it is in this calendar year. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.